What if the secret to getting what you want is helping someone else feel truly seen? Are you ready to learn the art of persuasion? I will share you 8 lessons of persuasion that will help you getting what you want. Before that, let's discuss what it is all about, and then I will share you the best part. Imagine a world where every conversation feels like a bridge, not a battle, not a tug of war, but a quiet path where two hearts meet. A world where you don't have to push, shout, or manipulate to be heard. Instead, you connect deeply, effortlessly, honestly. That's the promise of The Art of Persuasion, Winning Without Intimidation by Bob Burg. This isn't a book about tricks or slick sales tactics. It's a guide to something far more human, the art of moving someone's heart without breaking their spirit. It's about the moments we all face. Standing in line, frustrated with a cashier who's moving too slow, sitting across from a coworker who's shutting you down, or trying to convince a loved one to see your side. These are the moments where persuasion isn't just a skill, it's a lifeline. Berg teaches us that persuasion isn't about winning over someone. It's about winning with them. It's about seeing their fears, their hopes, their humanity, and meeting them there. Let me take you on a journey through this book, not as a list of tips, but as a story of transformation. A story about how small shifts and how we listen, speak, and connect can change not just our conversations, but our lives. We've all been there. You're trying to get your point across, but it feels like you're shouting into a void. Maybe it's at work, where your boss brushes off your idea without a second thought. Or at home, where a simple request turns into a heated argument. You feel invisible, unheard, like your words are slipping through cracks. And in that moment, something inside you tenses. You want to push harder, argue louder, make them listen. But the harder you push, the more they pull away. This is a struggle Berg shines a light on. The instinct to control, to dominate, to win at all costs. We've been taught that persuasion is about being the loudest voice in the room, the one with the sharpest comeback or the most airtight logic. But deep down, we know it doesn't work. The more we force, the more walls go up. The more we demand, the less we're heard. Let me tell you about Sarah. She's a young manager at a retail store, always rushing, always stressed. One day, a customer snaps at her about a return policy. Sarah's tired, her patience thin. Her first instinct? Snap back. Explain the rules, shut it down, move on. But something stops her. She remembers a lesson from Berg. People don't care what you know until they know you care. Instead of arguing, she takes a breath. "I'm so sorry this is frustrating," she says, looking the customer in the eye. "Let's figure this out together." The customer softens. They don't just resolve the issue, they leave smiling. Why does this happen? Because most of us are fighting battles we don't show. That customer wasn't just mad about a refund. They were stressed about a bad day, a tight budget, 1,000 little pressures. Sarah didn't just hear their words, she saw their heart. That's where persuasion begins. Not in your argument, but in their world. But it's not easy. We're wired to defend ourselves, to protect our pride. When someone disagrees, it feels personal. When they say no, it stings like rejection. Berg points out our biggest mistake. We think persuasion is about us, our ideas, our needs, our victory. So we talk over people, interrupt, or worse, manipulate. We try to win by making others feel small. And in doing so, we lose something far more precious: connection. Think about a time you felt unheard. Maybe you were pitching an idea to a friend, but they kept scrolling their phone. Or you poured your heart out to a partner, only for them to change the subject. It hurts, doesn't it? That ache is universal. It's what we all feel when we're reduced to background noise. Berg's insight is simple, but profound. If you want to persuade someone, start by making them feel heard. So how do we break this cycle? How do we move from conflict to connection? Berg offers a roadmap. not of tactics, but of heart. Let's walk through his lessons, each one a stepping stone to a better way of being. Lesson 1: The power of a name. Names are more than labels. They're a person's identity, their story in a single word. Berg tells us to use names with care, like holding something sacred. Imagine you're at a coffee shop and the barista's name tag says Maya. Instead of barking your order, you say, "Hey Maya, could you make it quick? I'm running late, but I appreciate you." Suddenly, Maya's not just a worker, she's a person. Her smile brightens. Your coffee is ready faster. Real life example. John, a teacher, had a student who never spoke up in class. One day, he started calling her by name, asking, "Lilo, what do you think?" At first, she froze, but over weeks, she opened up. Why? Because her name, spoken with respect, told her she mattered. Persuasion starts with seeing someone's worth. Lesson 2: Listen like it's a gift. Listening isn't just staying quiet, it's an act of love. Burke says true listening means putting your agenda aside and stepping into their world. Picture a coworker venting about a missed deadline. Your instinct is to jump in with solutions. But what if you just listened? That sounds exhausting, you say. What happened next? Suddenly, they're not defensive, they're sharing. Take Maria, a nurse who dealt with a grumpy patient every day. Instead of brushing him off, she sat down one shift and listened to his complaints. Turns out he wasn't mad at her, he was scared about his surgery. By listening, Maria didn't just calm him, she built trust. He started following her advice. Listening doesn't just persuade, it heals. Lesson 3: The gentle no. Saying no feels like shutting a door. But Berg teaches us to say it with grace. Instead of, "I can't help you," try, "I'd love to, but I'm swamped right now. Can we find another way?" It's not rejection, it's respect. Consider Alex, a freelancer overwhelmed with requests. He used to say yes to everything, earning out. Then he learned to say, "I'm honored you thought of me, but I can't take this on right now." Clients didn't walk away angry, they respected his honesty. A gentle no keeps doors open. Lesson 4: Humor as a bridge. Humor isn't just for laughs, it's a lifeline. Berg says a light joke can turn a tense moment into a shared one. Picture a family dinner where politics comes up and everyone's on edge. You crack, "Well, at least we all agree on dessert." Laughter breaks the ice. Suddenly, you're talking again, not fighting. Real life example. Emma, a team leader, faced a heated meeting where everyone was stuck. She said, "Guys, we're arguing like we're picking the last slice of pizza." The room laughed, and they found common ground. Humor doesn't just persuade, it connects. Lesson 5: Ask, don't tell. Burke's golden rule: questions persuade better than statements. Instead of saying, "You should do this," ask, "What do you think about this idea?" It invites them in, makes them feel valued. Take Liam, a dad trying to get his teenager to study. He used to lecture, "You need a focus." No luck. Then he tried, "What's making studying tough for you right now?" His son opened up about stress. They worked out a plan together. Questions don't push, they pull people closer. Lesson 6: Empathy is strength. Empathy isn't weakness, it's the heart of persuasion. Berg says to see the world through their eyes. If a friend's upset, don't just say, "Calm down." Say, "I can see why you're hurt. Let's talk it through." Real life example. Priya, a salesperson, had a client who kept rejecting her pitch. Instead of pushing harder, she asked about their challenges. She learned that their budget was tight. By offering a tailored plan, she won the deal, not by force, but by caring. Empathy turns walls into windows. Lesson 7: Small gestures, big impact. A smile, a thank you, a moment of kindness. These aren't small, Berg says. They're sparks that light up someone's day. Imagine thanking a janitor by name or leaving a note for a coworker. These acts ripple. Take David, a busy CEO. He started writing thank you notes to his team. One employee, struggling with burnout, said that note kept her going. Small gestures don't just persuade, they inspire. Lesson 8: Win-win or no deal. Persuasion isn't about you winning and them losing. Berg's philosophy is simple. Find a way for both sides to gain. In a negotiation, don't demand, create. Real life example. Aisha, a small business owner, was haggling with a supplier. Instead of fighting over price, she offered a longer contract for a discount. Both walked away happy. Win-win isn't just fair, it's powerful. These lessons aren't just about getting your way, they're about building a life where every interaction leaves you and others better off. Berg's wisdom shows us that persuasion isn't a game of control, it's a dance of connection. It's about seeing the human in front of you not as an obstacle, but as a partner in the moment. This is your invitation to change how you show up in the world. The next time you're in a tough conversation, pause, listen, use their name, find the win-win. If this message starts something in you, write in the comments. I choose connection over control. Let's start a ripple of kindness together.